Yes, people, what's going on? How are you doing? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well. Really do hope that Chelsea are playing in your garden tomorrow. No, they're not playing in your garden. They're playing at Stamford Bridge against your garden. Of course, we're 4-1 up in the tie, though we remember what happened against Legia Warsaw. Now, Enzo Maresca's spoken to the media before the game tomorrow evening, spoke about Enzo Fernandez's new role. Also, the return of Marc Guiu. Remember him? A lot of people might be thinking about him a little bit more, of course, in the absence of Nkunku ever playing for Chelsea again. And, you know, Jackson doing a lot of stuff right. But again, last game, a lot of stuff wrong. And we all got terribly excited when we saw that young Spanish bulldozer knocking people over and scoring a lot of goals in the Europa League Conference, Marc Guiu. We'll talk about it a little bit. I do want to speak about the Fernandes new role. I used to use this platform a lot, app, homecrowd.io. I'm going to do it a little bit again today to move around some players and talk about the tactics. I'm going to speak about a lineup for the Europa Conference League semi-final as well. I'm not going to build it in front of you because it's take another website and we can just sort of chat about it, speculate a little bit. There is some sort of transfer news going around at the moment as well. At Chelsea being linked with the likes of Anguissa on a free from Napoli. He might win the Scudetto this season with Antonio Conte and some geezer called Romelu Lukaku. And more notably, young Billy Gilmore. I think he's been rotated out from a starter, but still, nice story. Scott McTominay and Denman as well. Yeah, so Anguissa might win the Scudetto, mic drop, and he's being heavily linked with a move back to southwest London, but not Fulham, to Chelsea on the Fulham Road. So just quickly on that, it's a big boy adult in the midfield. We've got midfielders now, you know, Caicedo, Lavia, Fernandes, Santos. I mean, I guess it's good to have a grown-up in there to be rotated in and out if he's on a short-term contract and knows he's not a starter. Let me know what you think. Would you take Anguissa on a free transfer? It would be like a Tosin Adebayo sort of thing. I guess that's okay. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Of course, here on Football Therapy, there's daily content speaking about the Chelsea, and I'm very happy to have you with me. So, as always, I'm thankful for your support. Thank you for liking and subscribing. A little gentle reminder that there's daily content on the other channel, Football Yannick, as well, where I speak of all things non-Chelsea. Because like many of you, I'm just obsessed with football, and I like talking about all sorts. There's a link in the top of the description for that channel, but you can just search Football Yannick on YouTube. Right-e-hell. Let's talk about Chelsea then. Let's look at this. So this is the lineup from the other day. Yeah. This is the starting lineup with, of course, Rob Sanchez in goal, Caicedo ostensibly a right back, with Chalobah, Colwill and Cucurella, Lavia and Fernandes. Not Fernandes. I've been speaking about Bruno Fernandes, the Portuguese pronunciation, but Fernandes is our Argentine midfielder. Neto in his preferred native right wing. There he is. Noni Madueke, revelation-ish at left wing. And Nico Jackson up top, who, of course, in the previous 2 games scored 3 goals, looked really good, but was rather frustrating in our 3-1 home win over the champions Liverpool. Now, in terms of how we play on the ball, of course, Caicedo inverts. When we create a back three, with Colwill sort of playing almost as a sort of ball-playing sweeper, Chalobah playing on the right side, Cucurella there, which of course sees Caicedo. He actually inverts often to that side of Lavia, pushing Fernandes into the left pocket, Palmer into the right pocket, and suddenly we have, drumroll please, a box midfield. People bloody love box midfield. Tuchel, Conte, even like Guardiola at times with his hybrid back three systems. And Noni did a lot of this. He did a lot of this to his credit, and he reminded me of conventional, almost quintessential right winger Bukayo Saka that likes to hang out here, when Saka did a little bit of left wing back. And he did a lot of good defensive work, and Neto didn't track back as much, sort of occupied this space. Jackson coming in deep. Palmer loves this area. He doesn't like to play chalk on your boots right winger for all you people out there asking him to play right wing. He is a number 10 free role, but he is slightly more inclined to stay on the right pocket. Of course, as a left footer playing those balls like that. So he loves that space. And what this does is it affords Fernandes the ability to get back and help, but just crash the box, score or assist. Assist is homies, or just do your Frank Lampards, crash the box late, score. Where, like, Jackson comes over here, Neto will be doing cutbacks, Madueke running up and down, and the ball ends up coming to Fernandes, where he can go bang, crash it in. You see a lot of goals like that. You can also, of course, see Lavia moving over there, Caicedo there. You will also see Fernandes dropping in and helping. And Lavia is more of a facilitator. Receive the ball in tight spaces, turn and release, whether they turn and dribble or turn and release quickly. And from this position, actually, so let's put Fernandes back in our box midfield. Let's swap these two. Come on. That's what I want. And let's move a little bit more central. And this is obviously on the ball. Lavia, his relationship with Palmer there in the right pocket, incredible. So say we've just received the ball, we've been like defending a little bit, like deeper like this, and there's like opposition players around. Lavia gets the ball, there's players all around him. Rather than play it out wide or back safe, he'll shimmy across a pressing player, and he'll always play that quick line-breaking pass. And he's obviously got a good understanding with Palmer. I think they played together at City. Palmer like, thank you very much. Finally, some sort of big boy stuff and not nonsense. Turn, release whoever's running, whether that's a winger or that is a Jackson, or indeed if he gets forward. And Fernandes is being really, really trained well by Enzo Maresca to crash the box. Maresca even took a lot of time in his press conference today to say, like, he thinks Fernandes can get more goals. This is how he sees him. He sees him as this attacking number 8. Of course, this is relevant because Fernandes has played as a very deep midfielder before. I don't want to say he's been misprofiled. I just think he's been this sort of jack of all trades midfielder with Galactico sort of superstar abilities. But the truth is, at this level, or the level that Chelsea have got an ambition to reach, you need horses for courses. You do this, mate. No more of this utility nonsense. You do this. This is your role in the team. And this is the whole idea with Chelsea becoming a philosophical footballing team where we play a certain way. Strasbourg plays a certain way. We play away at the academy. So you bring in players in and out. They've got a role, which, some people like, some people don't. Some people prefer a bit more of a reactive pragmatism to managers. Like, oh no, we'll play, like Frank Lampard. Oh, I'll play back 5. I'll play back 4 here. We're going to sit deep today, boys, and defend. Oh, we're just going to go at them today. We feel like they're, do you know what I mean? Which is fine and might still work. But the modern, perception of football at the highest level, right? This landscape, you need controlling, heavily beaten in style of football where everyone knows what they're doing and you're getting the best out of players, which brings me back to Enzo Fernandez. He's obviously been analysed enough. He is a tenacious leader. He works hard in the midfield. He's a really useful player to have, but he is good. He's brave and he's good at scoring goals, crashing the box, getting us. He's got loads of assists this season, but he's got some goals. He's getting more goals, and the Chelsea manager thinks he can get even more. So it's not just this, exciting, in theory, exciting attacking formation and tactics, and it is common, the box midfield and stuff. But of course, in possession, out of possession, the ability to defend deep. Of course, Caicedo returning to left back, which leaves kind of pretty much a 4-4-2. And we've seen this under Pochettino. We've seen this under Maresca. The front two of like Palmer and Jackson pressing. And when you get the ball back, Caicedo goes bang into midfield and everyone assumes the attacking in possession formation. Great stuff, really. And, you want the academy boys to know how to do it and everyone come in. So in theory, it's a type of football that should be able to defend deep. It should be able to break down low blocks, and it should be able to express yourself and cook when you're just playing inferior opposition. That's why we sort of slam dunk all these goals in the Europa Conference League. I know we're the best team in there, but Chelsea have also scored a lot of goals in the Prem this season. That we've got a capacity to do it. Now it's not been flawless, and of course there's big criticisms of the Chelsea players playing better in transition. There's a lot of evidence of that, springing quick attacks. But as much as Maresca has sort of said he doesn't want a basketball game, which is like up and down transitional football, he has admitted that the Lavia helps the attacks quicker. I think he doesn't mind attacking quickly in a certain way. Again, I do think there is such a thing as Maresca ball being successful, but I'm not, gonna nail my colours to the mast and say I love it and it's definitely going to be successful. But I see the general vision and hope from the club and the sporting hierarchy. I suppose we as Chelsea fans just need to hope it works and we become really good and basically back where we should be, yeah? Anyway, I wanted to reference the fact how Enzo Fernandez is playing that new role because a left pocket attacking player at the beginning of the season, we kind of wanted that to be an Nkunku or a Joao Felix, and Palmer's the right pocket player, and you've got these exciting like number 10 style players occupying these roles. It's kind of like a FIFA mentality, like get them in the team, get them all in the team, but or an EAFC mentality now, should I say. But actually, functionality prevails, of course, and someone like Enzo Fernandez there might make sense. Of course, Pochettino for a long time tried to play Enzo Fernandez as just the straight-up number 10 with Cole Palmer on the right wing. Personally, I don't like that, and I actually feel like it was too much central creative responsibility from Fernandez when actually, almost ironically here, he's got more transitional agency in the Maresca system than he does under the Pochettino system. And of course Pochettino was way more of a YOLO gung-ho transitional manager, but the number 10 was this creative fulcrum, which I don't think Fernandez is. I think he's got like amazing passes, creativity, but he needs a sort of system around him, a level of functionality for him to shine, rather than I'll just be Cesc Fabregas. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I did also want to mention Marc Guiu, who's back. He could be in the squad tomorrow evening. Look, Chelsea are going to buy a striker. Yeah, we are, and we need to. Yeah, we all know this. Again, I'll say pull the string in the back of me, and I'll say I like Jackson. I want to keep him. I think he's good and can get a lot better. But I don't want him to be Chelsea's starting striker at the moment, which is just hit my watch against the metal, which is just how I feel. I'm sure many of you, echo that sentiment. But Marc Guiu is really interesting because he's a massive throwback. He's a kind of bulldog. It's funny because he comes from La Masia, from Barcelona. They did want to keep him, by the way. But he's not like this Luis Enrique or even Pep Guardiola false nine. I know Guardiola now plays Haaland. But he's a throwback as a striker. And I'm trying to think is that what Maresca wants, this throwback number 9? But Chelsea, I think a lot of Chelsea fans want him. Of course, Nkunku, that's done. We all know that. Jackson works systemically. But in terms of making the right decision, taking shots early, taking shots properly on goal, and just being brave and kind of nuts and not having an attitude at all, like a bad attitude at all, Marc Guiu is great. And I just was thinking when I was hearing the Chelsea manager speak about him, is there a world where, for example, he comes off the bench on Thursday, looks really good, he's been training really well, the next Premier League game, maybe, was it Newcastle? Let's say he comes off the bench and scores a goal, looks good. Is he like the guy to see out the season because of just clinical finishing? Very interesting. Of course, he's a very young man, he's come back from injury, but just in terms of this option, it's genuine. Because now Nkunku's out there, of course, we've seen Tyreek George. I think Tyreek George done good work up top, but he's an amazing winger, Tyreek George, and does really well out wide. And, as much as you want to play the tenacious Pedro Neto running around like a nutter at false 9, working really hard and helping the team, but again, him and George do their best work out wide. Marc Guiu is a centre forward, bro. He is a striker. He is a brave and just strong centre forward and loves a goal, basically. So I wonder if he could play a part before the end of the season. in the final few games. Oh, that's the wrong button. There you go. Subscribe to my second channel. Anyway, guys, that'll be it from me today. Certainly for the moment here, keep it locked to Football Therapy, because if a big story drops, I'll bring it to you and I'll bring you my thoughts on it. If you're interested, I'll be very grateful for you to subscribe. All right, mate, take care, enjoy the football, and yeah, peace.